Have you ever spotted a gorgeous sleeveless dress in a store window on a mannequin, or maybe even hanging in your own closet, and your very first thought wasn't, "That's beautiful," but rather, "I wish my arms looked better"? So you're certainly not alone. In today's video, I'm sharing 10 real body tricks that can help you wear sleeveless dresses with confidence, comfort, and elegance. These aren't unrealistic beauty tips. It requires no weight loss or excessive gym and exercise. They're practical styling techniques that real women use every day. In fact, several of these tricks are the very same ones professional stylists use when helping clients feel more confident in sleeveless clothing. So make sure you stay until the end, because trick number 9 has helped countless women stop hiding and start enjoying their clothes again. Welcome back to Style After 60, the place where great style has no age limit, fashion never expires, and looking your best doesn't have to cost a fortune. If you're new here, we're so happy you've joined us today. This channel is for real women living real lives. Women with real bodies, real budgets, and real experiences. Here you won't find unrealistic beauty standards, complicated fashion rules, or pressure to look 20 years younger. Instead, you'll find practical, honest, and achievable style advice designed to help you feel confident in the woman you are today, not the woman someone else thinks you should be. And to all of our returning viewers, welcome back, beautiful. Thank you for spending part of your day with us again. You already know that this community is all about confidence, comfort, elegance, and embracing every stage of life with style. Let's get started with the first real body trick. Trick number 1. Stop looking at yourself the way you did at 30. Before we talk about dresses, fabrics, or styling tricks, we need to talk about something much more important: the mirror. Because for many women, the biggest obstacle isn't their arms. It's the comparison happening in their minds. Let me ask you something. When you look at yourself in the mirror today, are you seeing the woman standing there right now? Or are you comparing her to the woman you were at 30? Think about that for a moment, because so many of us do it without even realizing it. We remember our younger arms. We remember tighter skin, firmer muscles, and a body that responded a little differently to time. And before we know it, we've turned our younger self into the standard we're still trying to meet. But here's the problem with that. No one wins that comparison. Not because there's anything wrong with you, but because you're comparing a woman with decades of life experience to a snapshot from another chapter of her life. And those are two completely different things. The truth is, bodies are supposed to change. That's not failure. That's life. One of the most stylish women I ever met was well into her 70s. She wore sleeveless dresses regularly, not because she had perfectly toned arms. She didn't. Not because she looked 30. She certainly didn't. But because she had stopped asking herself, "Do my arms look young enough?" Instead, she asked a much better question. "Do I feel good in this?" What a powerful shift. Because when you stop trying to recreate your younger body, you finally create room to appreciate the body you have today. And that's where true style begins. Trick number 2. Choose the right armhole fit. Now let's move on to a trick that surprises a lot of women. Because sometimes what you think is an arm problem isn't an arm problem at all. It's a dress problem. Let me explain. Have you ever tried on a sleeveless dress and immediately felt uncomfortable, even though you liked everything else about it? Maybe the dress fit beautifully through the waist. Maybe the color was perfect. Maybe the length was exactly what you wanted. But something about the arm area just didn't look right. And your first thought was, "Well, I guess I just can't wear sleeveless anymore." Not so fast. Very often, the real culprit is the armhole fit. And once you know what to look for, it can completely change how a sleeveless dress looks and feels on your body. Armholes that are too tight. Let's start with the most common issue. An armhole that's too tight. When the opening cuts too closely into the arm, it can create squeezing, pulling, and bunching. Even women with very slim arms can experience this. The fabric presses into the skin, creating lines and bulges that weren't noticeable before. And suddenly you're blaming your body when it's really the dress creating the problem. Now let's look at the opposite problem. Armholes that are too large. First glance, you might think more room is better. But oversized armholes often create gaps along the side of the body. They can expose undergarments, reveal more of the side chest area than intended, and make a dress look poorly fitted. Instead of looking elegant, the garment can appear sloppy or unfinished. Now here's the sweet spot. A well-fitted armhole sits comfortably against the body without squeezing. It allows natural movement. It follows the shape of your shoulder and underarm area smoothly. And most importantly, it doesn't call attention to itself. When the fit is right, people notice the dress, not the armhole. That's what you're aiming for. Don't be afraid of tailoring. Here's a little secret that stylish women know. Very few clothes fit perfectly straight off the rack. And that's okay. A simple alteration can often transform a dress from almost right to absolutely perfect. Many women spend years avoiding sleeveless styles when all they really needed was a minor adjustment from a tailor. Sometimes it's that simple. Trick number 3. Use shoulder design to your advantage. Now, this next trick is one that many women overlook completely. When most of us think about sleeveless dresses, we focus entirely on the arms. But professional stylists often look somewhere else first. The shoulders. And here's why. The shoulder area acts like a frame. Just as a beautiful picture looks different depending on the frame around it, your arms can appear completely different depending on how the shoulder area of a dress is designed. In other words, sometimes it's not your arms that need changing. It's the design around them. The power of visual balance. One of the biggest secrets in fashion is that our eyes don't look at body parts individually. We see proportions. We see balance. We see the overall silhouette. That's why 2 sleeveless dresses can fit the exact same woman. Yet one makes her feel incredibly confident, while the other leaves her feeling exposed. The difference often comes down to the shoulder design. The problem with ultra-thin straps. Let's start with something many women discover the hard way. Very thin straps can sometimes make the arms appear more prominent. Now, there's nothing wrong with thin straps if you love them. But for many women over 60, they don't provide the balance they're looking for. The eye is drawn directly from a narrow strap to the upper arm, creating a stronger contrast. As a result, the arm can become the focal point of the outfit. Why wider straps work so well? Wider straps create a sense of balance. They visually broaden the shoulder area just enough to create a smoother transition into the arm. They also tend to feel more secure and comfortable, which naturally boosts confidence. And let's be honest, when you're not constantly adjusting your dress, you feel much more relaxed. Many women find that wider straps allow them to enjoy sleeveless styles without feeling overly exposed. Structured shoulder seams. Now let's talk about another secret weapon: structure. A well-placed shoulder seam helps define the upper body. It creates cleaner lines and gives the dress a more polished appearance. Trick number 4. Draw attention upward. Now let's talk about one of the easiest and honestly one of the most fun style tricks in this entire video. It's called creating a focal point. And once you understand this concept, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Have you ever noticed that when someone walks into a room wearing a beautiful pair of earrings, a flattering neckline, or a bold lipstick, your eyes naturally go there first? You don't consciously decide to look there. You just do. That's because our eyes are naturally drawn toward visual interest. And this is wonderful news if you've been worried about your arms. Because instead of focusing on what you don't want people to notice, you can intentionally highlight what you do want them to notice. Think about how you notice other people. Let's do a quick reality check. When you meet someone for the first time, what do you notice? Their smile? Their eyes? Their hairstyle? Their energy? Most likely, you're not standing there analyzing their upper arms. And guess what? Other people aren't doing that to you either. The magic of a beautiful necklace. Necklaces work the same way. A well-chosen necklace draws attention toward your neckline, your face, and the center of your outfit. It creates a polished, intentional look. And the wonderful thing is that necklaces can be tailored to your personality. Some women love delicate pieces. Others prefer something bold and artistic. Neither is right or wrong. The goal is simply to create visual interest where you want the eye to focus. Stylish eyeglasses can be a fashion statement. If you wear glasses, here's something to remember. Your eyeglasses are one of the first things people notice about you. They're not just practical. They're part of your style. A flattering frame can enhance your features, express your personality, and create a natural focal point around your eyes. In many ways, stylish eyeglasses function just like jewelry. They're helping tell your style story. A simple mindset shift. Here's the mistake many women make. They spend so much energy worrying about what they want to hide that they forget about everything they have to highlight. Your eyes, your smile, your confidence, your personality, your sense of style. These are the things people remember. These are the things that make an impression. And these are the things worth drawing attention to. Trick number 5. Choose fabrics that skim, not cling. Now let's talk about something that many women overlook when shopping for sleeveless dresses. And honestly, it may be one of the biggest reasons a dress looks amazing on the hanger but disappointing in the fitting room: the fabric. In fact, if you remember only one thing from this section, let it be this: fabric can be more important than size. Yes, you heard that correctly. Many women assume that if a dress doesn't look flattering, they need a different size. But often the issue isn't the size at all. It's the fabric. Why fabric matters so much? Think about the difference between a well-made curtain and a thin sheet. One drapes beautifully, the other sticks to everything. Clothing works the same way. The right fabric gently schemes over the body. The wrong fabric clings to every curve, every crease, and every movement. And when we're talking about sleeveless dresses, fabric becomes even more important because it affects how the entire garment hangs from the shoulders and falls over the body. The goals: skim, don't squeeze. One of the biggest style mistakes women make is choosing dresses made from fabrics that cling too closely to the body. Now let's be clear. This has nothing to do with your size. A clingy fabric can be unflattering on virtually anyone. Instead of flowing gracefully, it tends to grab onto the body and create unnecessary tension in the garment. The result? You spend the entire day tugging, adjusting, and feeling uncomfortable. And that's the exact opposite of what we want. The goal is to find fabrics that skim gently over your shape, rather than sticking to it. Linen blends, a summer favorite. Let's start with one of the best options for warm weather: linen blends. Many women love linen because it feels breathable, comfortable, and effortlessly elegant. A quality linen blend offers structure while still feeling relaxed. It creates a beautiful silhouette without clinging. And perhaps best of all, it gives off that timeless, sophisticated look that never seems to go out of style. Structured cotton, clean and polished. Another excellent choice is structured cotton. Not flimsy cotton, not overly stretchy cotton. We're talking about cotton with enough body to maintain its shape. Structured cotton creates clean lines and helps a sleeveless dress look crisp and polished. It's especially wonderful for daytime events, lunches, vacations, and casual summer gatherings. Crepe, a hidden gem. Now let's talk about one of fashion's best-kept secrets: crepe. Crepe has a beautiful way of draping over the body without clinging. It creates movement, feels elegant, and it tends to photograph beautifully as well. Many women discover that crepe instantly makes a sleeveless dress feel more refined and forgiving. Quality knits that hold their shape. If you love knit fabrics, don't worry, you don't have to avoid them. The key is choosing quality knits. A well-made knit with a bit of structure can be incredibly flattering. It moves with your body while still maintaining a polished appearance. The difference between a high-quality knit and a flimsy one can be dramatic. A simple shopping trick. The next time you're shopping, don't just look at the dress. Touch the fabric. Hold it up. Notice how it falls. Ask yourself, does this fabric skim gracefully, or does it cling? That one question can save you from a lot of disappointing purchases. Trick number 6. Add a lightweight third piece. Now, this next trick is for the women who are thinking, I like the idea of sleeveless dresses, but I still feel more comfortable with a little coverage. And if that's you, I want to say something important. There is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting a little extra coverage. The goal of this video isn't to convince you that you must show your arms. The goal is to help you feel comfortable, confident, and stylish in your own way. Because confidence doesn't come from following someone else's rules. It comes from finding what works for you. And that's where a lightweight third piece can be a game changer. Let's redefine what coverage means. For years, many women have thought of cover-ups as something they wear to hide. But stylish women often think about them very differently. They use them as a design element, a finishing touch, a way to add elegance, movement, and personality to an outfit. In other words, the best third pieces aren't about hiding, they're about enhancing. That's a big difference. The beauty of a chiffon topper. Let's start with one of the most graceful options, a chiffon topper. There's something incredibly elegant about the way chiffon moves. It floats. It softens. It adds a touch of sophistication without feeling heavy. And because it's lightweight and semi-sheer, it provides gentle coverage while still allowing the sleeveless dress underneath to shine. The casual elegance of a linen shirt. For a more relaxed look, consider a lightweight linen shirt worn open over a sleeveless dress. This is a wonderful option for vacations, weekend lunches, sightseeing, or warm weather gatherings. The look feels effortless, comfortable, stylish without trying too hard. And perhaps best of all, you can wear it open, partially buttoned, or tie it at the waist depending on your mood. Lightweight kimonos, instant style. If you've never tried a kimono-style layer, you may be pleasantly surprised. A lightweight kimono adds beautiful movement and creates long vertical lines that flatter many body types. It can turn a simple sleeveless dress into a complete outfit in seconds. And because kimonos come in so many colors and prints, they're an easy way to express your personality. Mesh cardigans and summer layers. For women who prefer something more traditional, a mesh cardigan can be a fantastic choice. Unlike heavy sweaters, mesh fabrics allow airflow and feel comfortable even in warmer weather. Trick number 7. Pay attention to posture. Now, this next trick won't cost you a single dollar. You don't have to go shopping. You don't need a tailor. You don't need a new dress. But it might make a bigger difference than anything we've talked about so far. And that's your posture. I know. When most people hear the word posture, they immediately think of standing up straight because their mother told them to. But this isn't about looking stiff or formal. It's about understanding how the way you carry yourself affects how every outfit looks, and more importantly, how you feel wearing it. The hidden impact of posture. Have you ever noticed that some women seem to look elegant in almost everything they wear? It isn't always because they're wearing expensive clothes. It isn't because they have perfect bodies. Often, it's because they carry themselves with confidence. They walk into a room with their head up. Their shoulders are relaxed. Their movements look comfortable and natural. And somehow the entire outfit looks better because of it. Now compare that to what many of us do when we're feeling self-conscious. We hunch forward. We round our shoulders. We cross our arms. We try to make ourselves smaller. Without realizing it, we're communicating discomfort. And unfortunately, that discomfort often becomes more noticeable than the thing we were worried about in the first place. Standing taller changes everything. Here's a simple experiment. The next time you try on a sleeveless dress, don't immediately judge what you see in the mirror. First, check your posture. Stand tall. Lengthen your spine. Lift your chin slightly. Let your shoulders settle naturally. Then look again. Many women are surprised by how different the dress suddenly appears. Not because their body changed, but because their presence changed. And presence is incredibly powerful. Relax your shoulders. Let's talk specifically about shoulders for a moment. When we're nervous or self-conscious, we often carry tension right here. Our shoulders creep upward. Our neck becomes tight. Our posture closes off. The result is a look that feels guarded. Instead, try gently relaxing your shoulders downward. Take a breath. Allow your body to settle. Notice how much more open and graceful you immediately appear. Avoid defensive body language. This is a big one, and many women don't even realize they're doing it. Think about the last time you felt self-conscious in a sleeveless dress. Did you cross your arms? Hold a handbag tightly against your body? Keep adjusting your clothing? Stand with your arms glued to your sides? These are all forms of defensive body language. Trick number 8. Choose sleeveless styles with structure. By now, you've probably noticed a theme running through this video. Very little of it has been about changing your body. Instead, it's been about choosing clothing that works with your body. And that brings us to another important style secret. Not all sleeveless dresses are created equal. Just because a dress is sleeveless doesn't automatically mean it's flattering. In fact, two dresses can be the same size, the same color, and even the same length. And one can look incredibly elegant while the other falls completely flat. Why? Structure. What does structure actually mean? Now, don't let the word structure scare you. I'm not talking about stiff clothing that's uncomfortable or overly formal. I'm talking about dresses that have enough design and construction to create shape and balance. Think of structure as the invisible framework that helps a dress look polished. It's what gives a garment presence. Without it, even a beautiful fabric can sometimes look unfinished. The difference between wearing the dress and the dress wearing you. Have you ever tried on a dress that seemed to just hang there? No shape, no definition, no sense of intention. It wasn't terrible. It just didn't do anything for you. Many overly flimsy sleeveless dresses have that effect. Instead of complementing your body, they simply drape without direction. And often they end up emphasizing the very areas you're trying not to focus on. Now compare that to a dress with thoughtful structure. Suddenly the garment feels purposeful. It creates shape. It guides the eye. And it helps you look put together without any extra effort. Look for tailored cuts. One of the easiest ways to find structure is to look for tailored cuts. This doesn't mean tight clothing. It means clothing that follows the body's shape in a thoughtful way. A tailored sleeveless dress often creates clean lines and a more refined silhouette. The result is an outfit that looks intentional rather than accidental. Defined waistlines make a difference. Another feature worth looking for is a defined waistline. Now, that doesn't mean every dress needs to cinch tightly at the waist. A subtle waist seam, gentle shaping, or strategically placed belt can create balance and proportion. This helps the eye see the body as a whole rather than focusing on any one area. And balance is one of the keys to elegant dressing at any age. Quality seams matter more than you think. Here's something many shoppers overlook: the seams. Quality seams help a dress maintain its shape. They create clean lines and support the overall design. When a dress is well constructed, it simply hangs better. It moves better. And it often looks more expensive even if it wasn't. A style secret many elegant women know. Have you ever noticed that some women always seem effortlessly chic? They aren't necessarily wearing the most expensive clothing. Often, they're simply choosing garments with better structure. Their dresses hold their shape. Their outfits feel intentional. And that creates an air of elegance that never goes out of style. Trick number 9. Stop hiding in photos. I want to talk about something that has very little to do with fashion and everything to do with memories. Photos. Because if you're anything like many women I talk to, you've probably developed a few habits over the years without even realizing it. Maybe when someone pulls out a camera, you immediately cross your arms. Maybe you hold your purse in front of your body. Maybe you volunteer to take the picture instead of being in it. Or maybe you've become an expert at standing behind everyone else. Sound familiar? So you're not alone. But here's something important to understand. The more you try to hide your arms, the more attention you often bring to them. And even more importantly, you risk hiding yourself from some of life's most meaningful moments. The habits we don't realize we have. Let's think about what happens when someone says, "Everybody gather for a photo." Within seconds, many women instinctively go into protection mode. They cross their arms. They clutch a handbag. They angle their body awkwardly. They position themselves behind someone taller. And all of it happens so quickly they barely notice they're doing it. But those little habits don't communicate confidence. They communicate discomfort. And the truth is, most people looking at that photo years later won't be thinking about your arms at all. They'll be thinking about the memory, the people, the occasion, the joy of that moment, what natural confidence looks like. Now compare that to someone who simply stands comfortably, shoulders relaxed, arms resting naturally, a genuine smile on her face. She isn't trying to hide. She isn't trying to prove anything. She's simply present. And there's something incredibly beautiful about that. This is something I think many women need to hear. Life doesn't wait for us to feel perfectly confident. The family vacation happens now. The wedding happens now. The birthday party happens now. The grandchildren grow up now. And those moments deserve to include you. Not the version of you you're hoping to become someday. The version of you who is here today. A better way to pose. The next time someone asks for a photo, try this. Stand tall. Relax your shoulders. Let your arms rest naturally. Turn slightly if it feels comfortable. Smile at the people you're with instead of worrying about the camera. And most importantly, focus on enjoying the moment rather than managing your appearance. People can feel that difference. And cameras often capture it beautifully. Trick number 10. Wear the dress anyway. We've arrived at the final trick. And honestly, this may be the most important one of all. Because after all the styling tips, fabric advice, posture adjustments, and wardrobe strategies, there's one truth that remains. The most stylish women are not waiting for perfect bodies. They're living their lives right now. Think about the women you admire. The women who walk into a room and seem effortlessly confident. The women who look elegant at every age. Chances are they don't have perfect bodies. They have something far more powerful. They've stopped waiting. The trap of someday. Many women unknowingly live by a rule that sounds something like this. I'll wear that when. I'll wear that when I lose a few pounds. I'll wear that when my arms look better. I'll wear that when I feel more confident. I'll wear that next year. The problem is that someday has a way of moving further and further away. And while we're waiting, life keeps happening. The wedding arrives. The cruise departs. The family reunion takes place. The anniversary dinner comes and goes. The summer passes. And sometimes the dress remains hanging in the closet, waiting for a version of us that may never arrive. Life is happening right now. Here's something I hope you'll really take to heart. Your life is not on hold until your arms look different. Your happiness is not postponed until you reach some imaginary standard. Think about the memories, not the arms. Imagine yourself 5 years from now looking back at photos from this season of your life. What do you think you'll care about most? Will you be analyzing your upper arms? Or will you be remembering the laughter, the conversations, the celebrations, and the people you loved? Most of us already know the answer. When we look at old photographs, we rarely focus on the flaws we obsessed over at the time. We focus on the memories. And those memories deserve to include you. Conclusion. Before we finish, let's quickly recap the 10 real body tricks we've covered today. The 10 tricks. Stop comparing yourself to your younger self. Choose the right armhole fit. Use shoulder design strategically. Draw attention upward. Select better fabrics. Add a lightweight third piece. Improve your posture. Choose structured sleeveless styles. Stop hiding in photos. Wear the dress anyway. Finally, I want to leave you with one final thought. Your arms tell the story of a life you've lived. They've held babies. They've hugged children and grandchildren. They've carried groceries, packed suitcases, comforted friends, applauded achievements, and supported loved ones through both joyful and difficult times. They've worked hard. They've given generously. And they've helped shape the woman you've become. That's not something to be ashamed of. That's something to honor. So please don't let the pursuit of perfection keep you from enjoying beautiful clothes, warm sunshine, special occasions, and treasured memories. Your arms do not need to be perfect to deserve those things. Because the most beautiful part of any outfit is not the fabric. It's not the cut. It's not even the dress itself. It's the woman wearing it. And that woman is already enough. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 10 tricks resonated with you the most? Was there one tip that completely changed the way you think about sleeveless dresses? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read them, and I know so many other women will be encouraged by your experiences as well. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more style, confidence, and fashion tips designed specifically for women over 60. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I'll see you in the next video.